Our expert from US could not join. He's still trying, but unfortunately he could not join. My NIC team will kindly look into it as soon as he joins. Kindly let me know so that we can stop our discussion and we will take him on the on board. All right. Okay, so we can start. So in between, we can just discuss about the requirements of the legal metrology, packaged commodities rules, and the act. I'm sharing my slides.
ये तो हम खाली डिटेल का नाम लिखते हैं जितने रिव्यू किया जितने वो कंप्यूटर में चेक हो जाएगा कि किस के
Is it visible to all? Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. As we are all aware, I'm just taking it. This legal metrology is the application of legal requirements, measurements, and measuring instruments. Whatsoever the weighing or measuring we are doing, or weighing or measuring instruments we are using, they are all covered under the requirements of legal metrology. The purpose of this legal metrology to ensure the public guarantee from the point of view of security and accuracy of weighments and measurements. Whatsoever the weighing and measuring is done with the help of an equipment is correct, is secure, is ensured by the legal metrology. After this insurance or the security, we got a confidence in trade, industry, and consumers. It also built a harmonious environment. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It create harm. So actually, unfortunately, due to some technical glitch, our expert from US is not able to join. We are just waiting for him. If he joins, then certainly it will be easy for us. Till then, we can discuss about few important requirements of the legal metrology. What we are doing in the legal metrology, we are thinking that it will be good for the participants who are available over here, and we should not waste the time of others. So this legal metrology is, as we are all aware, it has the provisions from the Constitution of India under entry 30, under entry 50, Union List, which is list 1. It states about the establishment of standards of weights and measures, and entry 33A of list 3, which is related with the concurrent list. It is weights and measures except establishment of standards. So the establishment of standards, which includes the act, rules, standard equipments, maybe the Kibble balance for realization of mass through natural constants or other physical constants or other physical units, covers under the establishment of standards. And 33A, which is related with accept of establishment, is basically related with the enforcement. So enforcement is very important part for the legal metrology, which is generally done by the state legal metrology departments. We have in all states, at every district level and the taluka level, we have our legal metrology officers who regularly monitor and enforce the provisions of the Legal Metrology Act. This Legal Metrology Act, as we are all aware, it came into force from 1st of April 2011. And before this act, the first act after the independence after our independence, the first act was 1956, Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1956. That was repealed by the Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1976 and the Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1985. Now, after this repealing of both of these two acts, Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1976 and the Standards of Weights and Measures Act 1985, Enforcement Act 1985, we have from 1st April 2011, the Legal Metrology Act 2009. The objective of this act is to establish and enforce the standards of weights and measures, regulate trade and commerce in weights, measures, and other goods which are sold or distributed by weight, measure, or number, because this Legal Metrology Act is applicable on all prepackaged commodities which are sold in the packaged form. The declarations, the net quantity is regulated by the Legal Metrology Act or regulated under the Legal Metrology Act, and the packaged commodities rules framed under this act. If we talk about this legal metrology is regulated under the Consumer Affairs Department. Consumer Affairs Department is a nodal agency which regulate or which implement the Legal Metrology Act in the country. As we have already discussed, it's a very simple and small act which has only 57 sections. It is depending upon the standardization of units of weights and measures based on metric system. As we are all aware, all type of units in our country are based on metric system. The standards of units of metric system speaks about mass is in kg, length is in meter, time is in second, electric current is in ampere, temperature is Kelvin, luminous intensity is candela, and amount of substance is in mole. So these are the SI system of units. India, after signing the meter convention in 1956, started or using only these metric system of units. You will find that the use of other units like pound, ounce, etc. in our country is not allowed. The unit of length is meter only. The other units are not allowed. Similarly, it is true for all type of units of standards of weights and measures. The Act also has the provisions for declaration of prepackaged commodities. As we are all aware, with the development of this industrialization and the commercial market, now more and more objects and more commodities are sold in the form of the packaged commodities. So what are the declarations required on these prepackaged commodities are also regulated under this Legal Metrology Act. It also speaks how a weighing or measuring instrument will be manufactured in India, because under the act, every weighing or measuring instrument which is manufactured or imported in our country needs to be approved by the central government, and that's why we ensure that all type of weighing and measuring instruments are correct and as per the specifications and standard prescribed under the act or the rules. The act also prohibit on manufacture, sale or repair of weighing and measuring instruments or weights and measures without having the license. All the licenses are issued by the respective state governments, and I hope that in all states this system of approval, the system of manufacturing licenses, etc. is online. Even at the central level, all this model approval and all other registrations done by the legal metrology are online. The person used to apply online, but in case of model approval or the verification of weights and measures, the actual weight and measure needs to be examined, needs to be tested. Then only the verification and the stamping or the approval certificate or the testing can be done. The act also provides for verification and stamping of weight or measure before sale or putting into use. Only one nominated director of the company or other person for any establishment or unit is responsible for the offenses done by the company. This was the provision earlier that in the 76 Act, that all the directors of a company were used to be booked for an offense made by a company. But after the implementation of this new Legal Metrology Act from 1st of April 2011, one director can be nominated by the company, and then only that director will be responsible. Rest of the directors will not be booked for any offense done by the company. Even now, we have also given a very good relaxation to all these companies. Now, for any establishment or a unit, it is not necessary to make responsible or to nominate a director, but other person can also be nominated, which will be held responsible for a branch, unit or establishment, etc. The provision under the Act is also made for the verification by some private agencies like government approved test centers. All RRSs which are working under the central government are already recognized as GATC for verification of weights and measures. As we all aware, at the international level, if we talk about the weights and measures, if we talk about the standards, SI system of units, we talk about the National Metrology Institute, NMI. The National Metrology Institute, NMI, which is National Physical Laboratory in India, it is related with BIPM, International Bureau of Weights and Measures, again at Paris. Very good building, very good laboratory. Similarly, for legal metrology, in India, we have the legal metrology. At the international level, we have OIML, International Organization of Legal Metrology. Similarly, in India, for standards, we have BIS. At the international level, we have ISO, International Standardization Organization. In India, we have QCI, Quality Council of India. for making all these bodies responsible or for all type of accreditations. But at international level and at the similarly at the international level, we have IF, International Accreditation Forum, APAC, Asia Pacific Accreditation Program, like that. So, all these four pillars are most important requirements for any infrastructure for any country to be having the quality infrastructure in life. This international organization of legal metrology, which is working under this, we are working under the standards or the recommendations made by the International Organization of Legal Metrology. It was established in 1955. Again, its headquarters is in Paris, and India became its member in 1956. Also, India signed Metric Convention in 1956. At present, this OML has 63 member states and 64 corresponding members. It is basically to harmonize the global harmonization for the legal methodology. It harmonizes the national laws because in our case, let's say for testing and verification of weighing and measuring instruments, the procedures are all taken from the International Organization of Legal Metrology recommendations or the recommendations made by OML. Similarly, it also facilitates international commerce of measuring instruments and affected instruments. It ensures quality measurements for public and worker health and safety and protection of environment. It harmonized national procedures for testing and verifying the performance of measuring or weighing instruments. So the purpose of this OML is very wide, and we actually working very well with this International Organization of Legal Metrology. Whenever we have to notify or whenever we have to adopt any of the new equipment, any of the new standard, it becomes very easy because these OML standards, whenever they are being made, they are being made after taking full concentration or full stakeholders consultation in all respects. Even India used to offer its comments in all, because India is a member of in all committees, in all technical committees of OML, and we used to participate in all meetings and give our input wherever required for having this standard published before the publication of these standards. These are the new equipments which we have to add in the legal metrology: vehicle charging, hydrogen, gas meter, energy meter, moisture meter, sound level meters, because sound is again a big problem. And it is a study that in India, most of the children do not have that capacity of hearing. Because of this, that means the hearing loss has already been occurred with the children because of this noise. Taxi using GPS, radar equipment for speed of vehicles, EEG, ECG, and many others like breath analyzer, like there are many other equipments which needs to be enforced under the legal methodology so that their accuracy can be ensured. We need this for method of sale, document or the standards, test methods, training, etc. All these are required, and these will be used for pattern approval at the time of approval, function approval. These need for initial verification and then the subsequent verification. As India has recently become the 13th member of the International Organization of Legal Metrology fraternity, which can issue the OML approval certificates accepted all over the world. Now, more and more equipments we need to develop the testing facility and to issue the OML approval certificates for more and more equipment in the for supporting our own manufacturers, which can export our good instrument or good quality instrument all over the world. Nowadays, most of the equipments we can see that all type of high-end equipment are available in our country, whether it is a weighing instrument, a measuring instrument, petrol dispensing unit, or anything which you will see. All equipment are available. Our manufacturers are able to manufacture these very high-end quality equipment. How to put them in the international market? For this will be supported by, after becoming this OML approval issuing authority, which India has already become. We have already issued few of the OML approval certificates to few of the industries, Indian manufacturers, and I'm expecting that very soon our Indian equipments, Indian weights and measures will be available in all the markets of the world. And that is the dream which we have, which we see. And maybe that by within 5 years, 5 to 10 years, our manufacturers will be able to supply their good weighing and measuring instruments, or their very good quality weighing and measuring instruments, which they are already supplying. They are not depending upon us. They are supplying these weighing and measuring instruments all over the world. We will be able to support them to supply these equipments everywhere in the market. If we talk about the traceability chart, how the traceability is being maintained for mass. In the case of mass, we have the international prototype. International prototype we have, which is at Paris, France. And this international prototype is being kept at Paris, France. And this we used to send our weight national prototype, which is at National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi. We used to send our national prototype after every 10 years to this international prototype for verification or for calibration. These nowadays, actually, we are in the beginning, we were having a platinum iridium crystal, which is still placed at Paris, France. And we also have 1 kg crystal, 1 kg weight of platinum iridium, which is national prototype NPK 57, placed at National Physical Laboratory. This national prototype now actually after this 2020, May 2020, 2019, it was decided that this artifact will be changed by the natural constants. For example, the mass is now replaced by the Planck's constant. So the mass, that means the weight, actually the gravity force, is comparable with the there was some question. Sorry, I could not see. The mass or the weight will be comparable with the electromagnetic force. VIL sin theta will be balanced with the weight, and then we'll find how much number of Planck's constant will become 1 kg. So this is the way how we are developing, but that is a natural constant. Certainly, after a few years, India will also be in a position to develop its own Kibble balance. And with the legal metrology and the National Physical Laboratory are already working on this device for developing this Kibble balance in India. And certainly, we'll be in a position to have our own way of getting natural constants through the natural constants. Then we have the reference standards. These reference standards are kept at reference standards laboratories established by the government at different locations. They used to send their reference standards to the National Physical Laboratory after every 3 years to the for the national prototype. National prototype we are sending after 10 years, reference standards after every 3 years. The second standard laboratories we have, they used to send their standards after every 2 years, and then we have the working standards and then commercial standards. So this is the traceability chart, how the commercial weights are linked with the international prototype. This is the way how these weights and measures are working with the national level to the international level. If we talk about the legal metrology is only responsible for the weights and measures which are used in transaction and protection. Protection means anything or any weighing or measuring instruments, the readings of that weighing and measuring instruments or the observation taken from that weighing or measuring instrument, if are used for the protection of human or an animal or a vegetation or any other object or a commodity or a vegetation or a thing, then whether individually or collectively, then this weighing or measuring instrument will cover under the term protection, and it needs to be verified, stamped, approved, etc. Also, at the same time, if we talk about transaction means any contract for sale, purchase, exchange, or any other purpose, any assessment of royalty, toll, duty, or other dues, or the assessment of any work done, wages due, or services rendered. In case of any of these functionalities, if a weighing or measuring instrument is used, it is covered under the term transaction. Seal, again, we are aware whenever there is a weighing or measuring instrument, when we used to calibrate or verify it, we used to put a seal and a stamp so that it cannot be tampered after its use or after its sealing. And this is basically a process. We are using a wire and a lead. With the help of this wire lead seal, we used to stamp our weighing or measuring instrument and to ensure that it cannot be tampered. The stamp is like this, as we put a stamp or a lead seal on this weighing or measuring instrument, which just certify that this is weighing or measuring instrument, which is verified and stamped that it is correct, it is as per the standard. And if any stamp is previous stamp is there, that will be removed. Like this, we are working. Again, we have the concept of verification. In India, This verification, as we talk about the verification, it's a legal term. Verification we used to do in India and all the legal metrology countries, all the countries in which we are having the function of we are the having the departments or the officers working for this legal metrology, they used to verify this weighing and measuring instruments as we are doing in India. This verification is nothing basically, it is just a calibration we can say, or a comparing of an instrument or a reading with the standard equipment. That is the only way how we used to do. And this also this also covers the re-verification and calibration. Label is again a very important term which we used to put on a packaged commodity. Few declarations required under the law has to be made on this label. This label may be graphic matter, may be marked, written, stamped, printed, anything. By any way, the declarations have to be made which should be legible and clear on a pre-packaged commodity. These are the few new developments which were done under the legal metrology. The legal metrology packaged commodities rules were amended for ease of doing business and reducing the compliance burden. For example, that all the electronic products, it has been decided or it has been given a liberty or an exemption that few of the declarations can be given on these electronic products through the QR code. These declarations are, name has to be given, name of the manufacturer or packer or the importer has to be given on the packaged commodity, but the address may be given through the QR code. If it is printed on the package, then there is no need to give it to the QR code, but still if a company wants, it can give. However, if it is not given on a pre-packaged commodity for an electronic product, it can be given through the QR code. Then the name of the commodity. The third one is the consumer care phone number and the email ID has to be given on the product itself, but the address, consumer care name and address can be given on through the QR code, and the sizes, etc. Where large number of sizes are given, they can also be given through the QR code. But that information has to be given on the package itself, that these declarations are made through the QR code, and a consumer can check whether these declarations are made or not, whether these declarations are correct or not. So he can verify it. Also, under this legal metrology, we have introduced a very good concept of declaring unit sale price. Now, on every prepackaged commodity, you must be observing that there is a declaration with the MRP, that USP, unit sale price. That means per gram, per kg, per ml, or per liter, like that, or per number. So this means the per unit quantity, the declarations have been made. Again, section 49, as I already discussed, it was amended to allow that in place of the director, few other persons can also be nominated by a company for any establishment or branch in a company. The rules were also amended, the general rules, and it was allowed that the industries which are using any weighing or measuring instruments, which is neither used for transaction or protection, then it is not required to be verified or re-verified again. It is also asked that no person can be asked for the double stamping. That means if a weighing or measuring instrument has been stamped one, it is not required to restamp it. It is once done, it will be used anywhere in the country. It is not required to be restamped again. So these are the few exemptions of few facilitations have been made for the industries. Again, the government of India is working very well for having its own time. We are working for disseminating of Indian Standard Time, one time, one India, one time. That this is basically required for different cyber securities, networks, etc. And from 15th of March, I'm sorry, this slide I have not changed, but from 15th of March, we have already started first phase, and now we are disseminating our time through NTP, Network Time Protocol. This is already available in India, and very soon we will be in a position to disseminate time through all the ways. That means through PTP, through network, through ISRO. Satellites are already here, already available. With the help of a server, we can always get the time as which is IST, Indian Standard Time. This project we are working with the Microphysical Laboratory and the ISRO. So very soon we will be in a position to get it done. These are the rules which we have framed under the Act. So, Atulji, whether the expert has joined?
Sir, he tried to join multiple times, but he cannot join because his PC was not working properly. Right now we are connected. He said sorry for me, but don't issue, sir. Not matter of sorry.
Okay. No, no. If he joins, kindly let me know so that at least for half an hour he can explain us what he was wanted to say. Please check it, huh?
Okay, sir. Okay. Next time.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So these are the rules which we have framed under the. So these legal metrology, we have these are the rules, 7 rules, which are framed by the Government of India under the Legal Metrology Act 2009. The Legal Metrology General Rules 2011. It is a very important tool because all type of weighing and measuring instruments are made available or are made the made provisions under this general rule. How they will be tested, how they will be verified, what will be the conditions, what are the test procedures, what are their standards, and how all the technical requirements and the technicalities are given under the Legal Metrology General Rules 2011, and all the equipments are tested and verified as per these rules. We maybe a weighing machine, maybe a dispensing unit, maybe a flow meter, maybe a petrol pump, maybe a spring manometer, that is blood pressure meter, or a thermometer. Any type of weighing or measuring instrument which are covered under this legal metrology are governed under these general rules. We have the packaged commodities rules we will discuss later, but these packaged commodities, because nowadays most of the commodities are being sold in the form of a packaged commodity, so we are all the type of definitions, all type of declarations which are required in the interest of a consumer before buying. All these provisions have made under the packaged commodities rules. We have approval of model rules, how a model will be approved in our country before manufacturing or import to ensure that this specifies ensures the specifications required under the law. We have the national standards rules. National standards rules are very important rules. It covers all type of technical definitions. It covers all type of technical values. There's no, whether it is for R&D, whether it is for a school, whether it is for college, or whether it is for industry. All are covered under these national standards rules. It may start from 1 kg and it may go all type of units, whether Rota, Roma, or any type of units which may go up to 10 is what 30 plus and minus both ways. So these are covered under these national standards rules. Legal metrology enumeration rules. We see how a number will be written. Zero decimal point 00. Before that, 0.000 and 00, then 00, like that. So that means the digits how will be represented in terms of the Indian standard, or it may be in terms of let's say it may be not necessary. It may be in terms of this what I should say this international standard in terms of 3 digits before the decimal. In terms of 3 digits we can make. We have an institution, Indian Institute of Legal Metrology rules 2011 for the Indian Institute of Legal Metrology Ranchi. We have an institute which provides training for all in the field of legal metrology, consumer protection, and other subjects. It's a very good institute in India which not only provides the training to the legal metrology officers but also to the industries. We are getting the request from different organizations. Even somebody was asking me for having the training of 25 lakhs of persons of the industries. So we are just trying how we can provide the training in the field of legal metrology to large number of participants. It not only provides for Indians but also the international participants used to come regularly to this institution, and the training provided, the vicinity, the area is very beautiful, and the people used to love to come there. We have the government approved test center rules, how a private GATC will be approved, what will be the provisions, what will be the procedure, what will be the standards required, all are made under the legal metrology government approved test center rules 2013, and we are working on it. Maybe that very soon few of the new private laboratories may be approved by the state governments for doing few work of verification. If we talk about the prepackaged commodity, it has few of the definitions. Under Section 2L of the Act, we talk about the prepackaged commodity. It is a commodity which was filled when the purchaser was not present, a commodity which without the purchaser being present is placed in a package of whatever nature. It may be sealed or not. The product contained therein has a predetermined quantity. We can say it is 1 kg, 1 liter, one number, or 100 gram, or like that. So all this is given under this under these packaged commodities rules. We have the definition of label. We have already discussed. Under Section 18.1 and 18.2, the definitions or the requirements for the prepackaged commodities are defined. Under section 18(1) provides for the declaration, no prepackaged commodity will be made available. It restricts for manufacturing, selling, packing, importing, distributing of any prepackaged commodity unless it is not as per the declarations required under the Act of the rules. Section 18(2) speaks about the advertisement, that whenever you are advertising the retail sale price, then it should also have the net quantity. When we talk that it is 100 rupees, then in 100 rupees, how much we are getting, that is very much required. So with the declaration of, or with the advertisement of MRP, we have to declare the net quantity also. The penal provisions for the packaged commodities are also made under section 36. Section 36, but the legal methodology has a very good, a beauty in legal methodology act is it is not necessary that all the time you have to go to the court. All the offenses under the legal methodology, when it is not like that, then when somebody is stopping or putting the pressure or the force on an officer which is entering, which is just going to check any weighing or measuring instrument or some asking some records, and if we start using the force, in that case only the criminal offenses are there. Otherwise, in the rest of the cases, we have a provision of compounding. Compounding means if there is some error or there is some mistake, that can be compounded by paying some few amount which is already prescribed under the law. It is not at the mercy of the officer. It is already prescribed under the law that how that you much amount, you much penalty you have to pay, and then this offense will be completed. Then this will be closed. This package commodity for declaration part, it speaks that whenever you're selling, manufacturing, packing, importing, distributing, delivering, or otherwise transferring, offering, exposing of or purchasing for sale any prepackaged commodity which does not conform to the declarations of the packages as provided in the act, when it is a first offense, it is the compounding fees is up to 25,000 rupees. For second offense, up to 50,000 rupees, and for subsequent offense with fine which may not be less than 50,000, but it may go up to 1 lakh rupees, or with imprisonment up to 1 year. So both options are given, that it can also be the imprisonment can also be given, but this imprisonment can be decided by the competent court of law after due procedure. It's not like that immediately the person is going to be sent to be behind the bar. It is not like that. This is given the complete process of law. Then only this can be pronounced, and I don't know that anybody has been given this type of penalty. After the compounding, matter is closed. If somebody is selling, or we are just concerned about the net quantity, selling, manufacturing, packing, importing with error in net quantity. In first case, again the fine is, this is a fine which can be compounded if some error is happened, or something which was unintentionally done, or if something intentionally done but first time, it is already allowed that from up to for the first offense is the fine is from 10,000 to 50,000 rupees for the first offense. But if it is second or the subsequent offense, the provision of imprisonment is also made, which is up to 1 year with fine, which may not be less than 50,000 rupees, and up to 1 lakh rupees, or with both. So the provision is made again if it happens at the second time, again the case will be booked by the competent court of law. But it's not good, and I have never seen that the legal in the country, we are very few legal metrology officers who are working in the country, very few officers, including the state at the central level. So I feel that the industries don't want to cheat the consumer by giving the less quantity. I hope that I feel that because when the legal metrology was not there, even officers were not there, even then the quantities were correct, and the industries were not in that of that mindset to give the less quantity. But again, provisions are made for the persons if somebody does like this. The very important definition under this package commodity rule is the principal display panel. When we used to talk many times, what is the principal display panel? It is in relation to a package, means the total surface area. If we have an object, then this of the total surface area of this package, maybe all the sides, covering all the sides, it will be considered as the principal display panel. But for calculation of the size of the letter and the numeral, this is again a separate rule which prescribes which size or how much area will be taken for calculating the size of the letter and numeral for making the declarations different. But otherwise, principal display panel is the total surface area, and the declaration may be given at any place, but it should be grouped together. It has to be given at one place. All the declarations, it should not be like that some declarations are at one place, at some declarations are at another place, and the consumer is just searching here and there. So the rule asks all the declarations should be grouped together. But if few declarations are reprinted and few declarations we are making it online, then they may be given at two places, but not more than two. It can be given at places on a prepackaged commodity, but the declarations need to be given. These are the few declarations which we require under the Legal Metrology Act from all manufacturers, packers, and the importers to declare in the interest of consumer. If you will go through these declarations are not very large. These are very simple declarations. For example, name and address of manufacturer, packer, or importer. Country of origin, if it is an imported product, if it is made in India, then there is no need to mention, but it's good. And you should have a pride and honor that this is manufactured in India, right? It made in India, make in India, made for India, like that. So, this is very important. Common or generic name of the commodity, net quantity in terms of a standard unit of weight, measure or number, MRP, which will always be inclusive of all taxes, and over and above MRP is again a big problem in our country. Many times it is observed that retailers ask the price or the MRP or the cost over and above MRP. That is not correct. The MRP is the maximum price, and nobody should charge over and above MRP. The provision of unit sale price has been made, and a very important declaration which we are asking is the month and year of manufacture. Earlier, month and year of manufacture, pack or import, all were allowed, but it was a considered decision that only the month and year of manufacture is necessary or required for a consumer point of view. So we have asked whether it is imported, whether it is manufactured, whether it is packed, but we have to declare month and year of manufacture. Batch before or use by date, month and year in case of a commodity which may become unfit for human consumption with time. So these are the commodity which are using for human consumption. We have to declare month and year, date, month and year for before, best before, or use by date. Sizes or the dimensions of the commodity. If the commodity has different pieces, then it needs to be required. Declare. Consumer care details. Consumer care, to whom, see, it's a very good idea. I really salute the forefathers who understood that, what actually resolve our problem. That is the consumer care details. If the consumer care detail is given, customer can directly talk to the customer care officer and can resolve his issue. If the issue is not resolved, then only it will go to the consumer, it will go to the legal metrology officer, and then only we have to intervene. Otherwise, in most of the cases, that is decided by the by the company itself. That can be resolved by the company itself. We also know for the for the pre-packaged commodities which are being sold on an e-commerce entity, they also need to declare few of the declarations. What are these declarations? Name and address of manufacturer or importer, country of origin if it is imported, common or generic name of the commodity, net quantity in terms of standard unit of weight or measure or number, MRP, which is inclusive of all taxes, batch before or use by date, month and year, in case of commodity which will become unfit for human consumption with time. So my request is that these are the only 6 declarations which require to be mentioned on a website or on an e-commerce channel for the benefit of the consumer. But it is observed many times that MRP declared on the product is different, MRP declared on the website is different, and again it creates a problem. So we should very clear that whatsoever the MRP is on the product, that is the maximum retail price which will reach the consumer. It should not be tampered, and it should not be, and the price shown on the website should not be above than the MRP declared on the prepackaged commodity. We have to take care of it. This is the requirement under Rule 610. We have already made the requirements for declaration on websites or the e-commerce websites. These are the sizes which are required of a letter and the numeral on a prepackaged commodity. And all this depends upon the area of the principal display panel. If the area of the principal display panel in square meters is less than 50 square centimeter, area covers all cover surface area, then the all surface area is for the principal display panel. But in this case, we have already made the rule. I am just going to share after that. If it is less than 50, the size will be 1 mm when it is printed, or when it is blown, formed, or molded, then it will be 2 mm. If it is in between 50 and 100, the size will be 1.5 and 3, like that. So these are all the sizes which are required, or all size of the letters and numerals which are required on a prepackaged commodity. But when we are talking about the area we have to take, for example, in case of a rectangular box, the length and breadth will be the area of the principal display panel, and accordingly the size will be decided. Rule 18.2 very clearly speaks that there should not be any sale over an MRP by any of the retail dealer, manufacturer, packer, anybody. There should not be, it is not allowed that somebody is selling over and above MRP. It is very important. And I tell you that this MRP, the concept of this MRP, which is used in India, is a very important concept. It is one of the wonder which is we call in legal metrology, in other legal metrology fraternity countries, that this concept is very important and very helpful for the consumer point of view, where the consumers are not very and very well understanding about the prices and all. 18(2)(a) of the legal metrology package to commodities rules provide that actually restricts the declaration of different MRPs on an identical prepackaged commodity, adopting restrictive trade practices or unfair trade practices as defined under clause 41, 40, and 47 of section 2 of the Consumer Protection Act 2019, which is 35 of 2019. We have just amended it that these sections we have covered. No wholesale dealer or retail dealer or other person shall obliterate, smudge, or alter the retail price, sale price once declared. Once declared means declared. You cannot change. These rules also require that any of the importer, manufacturer, or packer who is manufacturing, packing, or importing any prepackaged commodity need to be registered under these rules. And this registration can be done at the state level by the controllers of the legal metrology or at the center level by the director legal metrology. What you have to do, you just have to apply on the online portal for central government. You have to apply on nsws.gov.in and you will get this certificate within 15 days if all the declarations of the requirements are complete. Otherwise, you will get a question, a reply, or a query that this document is required. You just have to upload and get it registered. It is not very difficult. It is very simple. But this registration need to be done within 90 days from the date of the commencement of the packing. The rules also provide for the tolerances, maximum permissible errors in prepackaged commodities. If the prepackaged commodity packed is up to 50 gram or 50 ml, and the percentage of declared quantity, the error will be allowed is 9%. For example, for 50 gram, it becomes 4.5 gram, but for 10 gram, it is only 0.9 gram. That means up to 0.9 gram error is allowed. Tolerance is allowed. This is in per package. This is in an individual package, but it does not mean that this error is allowed at the time of checking of the prepackaged commodity in the premises. In the premises, we have a separate way of checking, sample checking of the products, packaged commodities, and accordingly we used to check. We used to find that this is as per the rules or no. If it is not as per the rules, then we seize the material. We used to ask the manufacturer to again repack it, again get it checked, and then only release the material in the market. If it is in between, the quantity is 50 gram to 100 gram, the error allowed is 4.5 gram. In between 100 to 200 gram, the error allowed is 4.5%. Similarly, up to 15 kg, if it is more than 15 kg, the error allowed is 1%. If it is more than 15 kg, that means for 20 kg, the error allowed is 1%. That means 200 gram. So like that, these errors or these tolerances have been allowed, have been prescribed as per in the packaged commodities rules. But these are as per the international standards. These are as per the international procedures. What in other countries these people are doing, we are doing in the same way. These are the few amendments which we have made recently for declaration of month and year of manufacture. We have already discussed. MRP is the maximum retail price inclusive of all taxes in Indian currency. So all these declarations we have already discussed, already considered. Unit sale price, which was introduced in 2022, 28th April 2022 in the rules and came into force from 1st of January 2024. Just recently we have implemented. However, industries were allowed if they wish to declare this unit sale price. Before that, they were allowed. They were not asked to they can't do. They can do it, and they were doing it. In most of the industries, the declaration of unit sale price was already being done by their industry, by these industries. The unit sale price, it will be rounded off. It will be in rupees to the nearest two decimals. It will be declared on every prepackaged commodity. How it will be? If it is in kg, it is in weight. Then per gram, when the quantity is less than 1 kg, if the quantity is above 1 kg, then it will be in terms of per kg. It will be per centimeter if the length is less than 1 meter, and it will be in terms of meter when the length is more than 1 meter. It will be per millimeter, per milliliter if the net volume is less than 1 liter, and it will be per liter when the net volume is more than 1 liter. Per net number or unit of any item sold by number or unit, provided that for packages containing alcoholic beverages or spirituous liquor, the state excise laws and the rules made thereunder shall be applicable within the state in which it is manufactured. Provided further that a declaration of unit sale price is not required for the prepackaged commodities in which retail sale price is equal to the unit sale price. For example, if I'm talking about a Bisleri bottle of 1 liter, in that case of 1 liter, it is not required to declare unit sale price, which will be in liter per liter only. So MRP and the USP will be the same. In this case, it is not required. Suppose the quantity is 1 liter, or 1 gram, 1 kg. In that case, it is not required to declare unit sale price again. We have already discussed that for the declaration, earlier it was a big problem that when the industries were declaring the unit sale price, the large number of cases used to be booked against them. And we have just made it very clear that the declaration of this number, maybe in terms of units, in terms of pair, in terms of pieces, in terms of sets, any word can be used, which can be easily understood by the consumer. Other rules were also amended as far as wherever it was required. These are the few recent amendments for the electronic products. I have already discussed with you that for declaring the name has to be declared on the package. Address can be given on through the QR code. Common or generic name can be given through the QR code. QR code can also be used for declaring size or the dimensions of the commodity. It can also be used for giving the address, name and address through the QR code on prepackaged commodity for declaring the consumer care details. However, telephone number and email ID needs to be given on this package commodity. This is only required when the information is not declared through the QR code and it is declared on, when information is declared through the QR code. If it is declared on the package, then there is no need to declare through the QR code, because package in the physical form, the information can be seen by the consumer directly. There should not be required for anything else. So this is the rule 6, which asks about the QR code, and then we have garment or the garment sold in the loose or in open. Again, it requires that few of the declarations need to be given on these garments or the hosiery which is sold in the loose form, that these shall bear at least name and address of the manufacturer or marketer or brand owner or importer, consumer care email ID and phone number, size with internationally recognizable the size indicators such as S, M, L, XL, etc. Maximum retail price. So these are the few declarations which are only required to be given on a garment or a hosiery item which is being sold in the loose or the open form. This exemption will apply only to the finished products. This information shall also be displayed on the e-commerce website. If sold through e-commerce, any manufacturer, packer or importer may declare this information immediately. Section 49 we have already discussed on the request of the industries. These are the few advisories which we have issued to the industries for the prepackaged commodities for the e-commerce websites. So this was the few things which I wanted to share with the participants. With this, I would like to thank all of you. I think our expert has already also joined. So Atulji, whether the expert has joined?
Unfortunately, sir, you can join, sir.
Okay. He has joined, na?
No, sir. नहीं join कर पाया, sir.
He could not join. Okay, no problem. So now I would like to request all the participants to kindly switch off your mic and switch on your videos so that we can take few pictures and we can.
अभी सर बना रहा हूँ, सर 5 मिनट लगेगा, सर.
Please do it. Please be careful. Be relaxed. Now, in the meantime, I will take few of the questions which I have received in the chat box. Could you tell me the calibration frequency for critical lab and process equipment according to regulatory requirements? Yes, for all weighing and measuring instruments, whatsoever we have, these are the digital equipments, and for that the frequency is 1 year. For the weights, maybe the standard weights or maybe the weights used in the industry, we have made it for 2 years for the legal metrology, under the legal metrology. what is the frequency of calibration of pressure gauge, etc. This is this is not regulated, which is regulated under legal metrology. Legal metrology is very clear. If it is electronic, then after every 1 year, and if it is mechanical, it will be for 2 years, after 2 years. I think all the documents, if somebody is asking the documents, all documents are available on the website. I'm just writing the address. It is www.consumeraffairs.nic.in, and in this, when you will go to the acts and rules, then legal metrology, you will get all the rules, all the standards under the legal metrology available in India. All type of action rules. Wholesale pack basically defined if the basically this has been given 3 conditions which can be anyone can be met as per the rules. But you know, many times it is observed we are declaring it is a wholesale pack and this is available for the consumers to buy. And I think that this has to be stopped. When it is a wholesale package, we have to have a control over the retailer, because I don't think that that we can control the dealer who is or the retailer who is actually selling. So this particular product should not be available for the retailer because it does not have the declarations, MRP, etc. Otherwise, this wholesale package, we generally call that if it is more than 10, it's a wholesale package. If it is for the intermediary, then it is wholesale pack. My request is it should not be available for sale to the consumer, retail sale. For wholesale pack, very few 2-3 declarations are required as per the rules. They can be given. All equipment lab, see, as far as legal metrology is concerned, I already told you for electronic equipments, we are talking for 1 year, 1 year, and for mechanical, it is for 2 years. It is available in the Legal Metrology General Rules 2011, Rule 27. Rule 27 of the Legal Metrology General Rules 2011, it clearly prescribes for the frequency or the re-verification period. For the calibration, calibration rules are made under the equipment itself, with the equipment itself. See, NABL is a voluntary standard. Please try to understand. The legal metrology is a mandatory requirement. So what they are doing, they just want to uplift the standard. Please try to understand. NABL has done a wonderful job in our country, which has actually made our people aware about the requirement of the standard. Otherwise, we were not aware of that. So NABL purpose is to enhance the standard, to make the quality standard better. But the legal metrology is the minimum requirement that has to be fulfilled. And that is actually within the law. And if not complying, then the legal provisions are made, penalty provisions are made, penal provisions are made. As far as standards are concerned, they are not like that. This is basically different. Purpose is different actually. It has given to ISO 17025 how enable left from beta measure. Okay, now I clear. How does the MRP work exactly for e-commerce pre-packaged commodity? See, MRP is the same whether you are selling a pre-packaged commodity through a shop, through a manufacturer, or through an online or through an online e-marketplace. It is the same. MRP of the product will never change. MRP will be the same. MRP is not going to change. MRP will be the same. Can NABL lab calibration behalf of no, weight and measure has not, until as weight and measure has allowed you for doing the calibration, how you will do on behalf of NABL, on behalf of legal metrology, because legal metrology or the weight and measure has not allowed you. Please try to understand. You have been allowed by the weight NABL, you can do, or you must be doing it. We are not going to stop anybody if he is doing as per this. All these, you may share this address in license sheet. I don't know which license sheet. Anyway, can enable lab stamp? No, how enable lab will stamp? Because this stamping is done by the legal metrology officers of the state government. GATC has not been given till now by the state governments. We are talking with the state governments. Maybe the process will start soon. Yes, in any, I think somebody is speaking. I am not able to hear. How to cross-check the amount of any ingredient in any pharmaceutical product. Very good. The pack may contain more or less amount as specified in description. Very good. Why you're talking about the pharmaceutical product? If it is a food product or it's a milk, how much is the quantity? How you will check? You cannot check. This will be done by the competent authorities which have the testing facilities or the laboratories. You will send your product over there and they will test and check, let you know what are the ingredients in a pack and how much is the quantity. Atulji, whether we have done it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
with this, I would like to thank all the participants. Next week, with the next Saturday, we will meet again with the next